Hello, hello. Right, I think we are live. I'm just going to check quickly. 2 seconds. Let me just kind of jump on. If you are here, just do drop me a quick hello, or should we say down in the comments. Obviously, this is the Fast Track FBA Weekly Live. It's to help you guys out in your businesses. Really, obviously, like kind of like what I'm doing. I'm more than happy to talk about and share, but really, it's to help you guys out. So, yeah, cool. So just you can see I'm on live on the group. And let me just do that 1 second. Ask your questions below. Fantastic. And also as well, let me just quickly check YouTube. I just want to make sure that's working. So if you're here, drop me a quick hi and we'll go from there. So let me just check YouTube. I want to make sure we're live. Also, if you've got questions, USA, UK, anything else, I'm really happy to help. And obviously, the idea is that I'm growing my business. I've got VAs and I've got teams now USA, and I'll show you a graph. And yeah, I can see we're live now. Great, there you go. USA, really excited about that. So we'll kind of jump in. One thing which I'll kind of jump into. So if you guys are here, obviously drop the questions down below. I had a really good update yesterday from my team. And if I show you, I did put a post on my personal Facebook and a couple of the work ones as well. So, but really happy. This is a graph. I'll show it there. That is a, oh, can I get that? There we go. Yeah, that's a graph from, how do you say that? That's a graph from my team, which is, the USA performance today, 30K. Obviously, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. But really happy how the fact that that's going up. And also, well, we started like 5 months ago. I think 9 months ago, actually, I had the idea to start selling on Amazon USA, and that's really growing. So that's doing the online arbitrage business model. And if you missed that, I will just drop that again one more time. Let me show you. So there you can kind of see that. I'm really happy with that. That is a screenshot that my ops manager shared to me because I don't have it on my phone. He does. So I only have one on my phone. I don't want to link the account. But hey, that's where I'm, Amazon USA, just shy of 30K over the last 4 months. Really happy with that. And if you guys have got questions, please let me know. So I think there you go, my focus is a bit off. There we go, much better. We want to give you a nice view. There you go, let's change it around that way. Let's give you a nice view of my apartment, not the way. Is it just min or the signal really bad? Okay, so you're saying my signal really bad. Give me 2 seconds. Could be my signal. 1 second. See if I can upload that and you can let me know the situation. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I think that should be finishing now. Let me know how that is. If that signal's better, if that's happy. So Henry has just popped in and said, is it me or is the signal really bad? Henry, let me know in the comments down below if that's better. Hopefully that has improved. I think I was like doing something in the background and then that stopped. So I'm just checking my ping now. It's like 5 seconds to Google, 5 milliseconds. All right, already better. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your questions. Let me just jump in and ask you questions. And hey, if there's anything else I can answer for you, do let me know. So I'm just going to come through your questions here. Oh, you've changed your picture since doing, so fantastic. So, okay, so let me come back to the question here. You said, how do you deal with tax, PAY, etc., with your VAs, and do you pay them via PayPal? So, great question, really well. So, long story short is, unless they are an EU resident or they are in the EU physically, there is no necessity for you to do things like PAYE. PAYE you don't do it, I'm not, speak to your accountant, let's do that. I'm not a tax advisor, but my understanding of the situation is, and the way we do it, is that if they are outside of the European Union, there is no tax obligation to pay for them. There is no, government, you think about what you're paying like employer's tax, like social security, but obviously it's like national insurance in the UK. You're paying all these kind of taxes. And if they're not physically within the EU, there is no requirement to pay them and you don't need to declare them as such, i.e. as in to the government, because they don't exist within the EU, so you can't get their correct details like who are they, passport numbers. In the UK, you need to do a national insurance number. You won't have one because they don't have a national insurance number. So how do we deal with it? So long story short is When we put them through the accounts, they're classed as subcontractors. That's what we put them through. They're run through subcontractors, and there's no requirement to pay like PAYE, national insurance on them, anything like that, pension schemes, etc., etc. It is completely up to you. If you want to do it, you can like put a pension scheme in, add extra, not a problem, but it doesn't work in the UK or in Europe. That's the thing. So now the next question, I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And in regards to payroll, how do you physically pay them? Yes, you can do payroll, PayPal. I really don't like it at all. Two reasons. Number one is the fees. PayPal just take fees. It's horrendous. Conversion fees are shocking, and it's just not worth it. So long story short, I would really recommend using TransferWise. I'll see if I've got an affiliate link, which will get you some like extra cash when you do it. So do I have a TransferWise? Or they're now called Wise, by the way. Maybe somewhere I can't find it off my list. Yeah, so Wise we use, and they're really good. And the reason why we like Wise is two things. Number one, great transfer fees. Number two, they pay direct into bank account. Or if they don't, you do have the ability to say, you literally just give TransferWise or a Wise an email address, and they'll email your VA and say, hey, VA, please add in your bank account details. And then that automatically gets transferred. So super simple, really easy. And then the other one, the other reason why I don't like PayPal, and I found this quite a few times, is that when you're making payments, what happens is like when I try to pay like 5 VAs or something, PayPal would just be like, I do one payment, another payment, another payment, another payment. Then they go, sorry, security alert. I call them up and say, hey, what can you do? And they'd be like, sorry, automated security, we can't do anything. You're gonna have to wait 24 hours. I'd wait 36 and I'd still not be able to make payments. So it's like, my God, it's my payroll of my team. Like, what's going on? So long story short, TransferWise, consistently able to pay and much better transfer rates. And also as well, I always stated that I wanted to make sure that, if we're paying like 25,000, the VAs get 25,000 in their bank account. That's it. Whereas with PayPal is always like some kind of fee missing off. So that's what we're doing with it. So long story short, TransferWise or Wise as they're called now, and you don't have to deal with any tax. Do speak to your accountant. That's the most important thing. I hope that helps out. So quick question for you. How are you, Tom? I'm good. Nice to join you guys. Obviously super early in the morning, 7 a.m. in Mexico here. Sun, you can see it, the sun's coming up. Let me know if you've got questions down below. I'm really happy. I'll share this with you guys. I did share it just a minute ago, but look at this. This is a screenshot from one of my ops managers. Look at that. That's a nice graph going up. That is my Amazon USA business. I'm so happy. 30K, we're going up, up, up. And if you want to know Amazon USA or Amazon UK, I'll show you that one as well. Let me just log in. That's year to date. So we're like 1.162 million year to date. So super happy with that one as well. We're going to see if we can do 1 million over the Q4 period. Fingers crossed. If we can, that'd be amazing. But I think also as well, if we can get to 250,000 by the end of the year, I'd be really happy in the USA as well. That'd be like 2.5 million. So really happy with that. And we're also talking about our next adventure, which is going into another marketplace. Let me know if you can guess where it is in the comments down below. Drop a comment, but I'm really good. Thank you very much. So Signal has improved. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to come through a couple of questions. Henry's mentioned 2 different accounts. Great. Honestly, no idea why you have 2 different accounts. But hey, maybe one's on computer, one's on phone. So your VA invoice, put it this way, we've got 56 VAs now. They don't write me invoices. My accountants are happy to say, you don't need the invoices. You can prove that you paid the money to them because the TransferWise shows evidence that it's direct to bank. But again, speak to your accountant. If you want to get the invoice for it, it's fine. So our accountants are like, fine, it's not a problem, don't worry. But for you, and again, check with your accountants, probably should have the invoices. And yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't just say, hey, can you transfer me or can you write me an invoice for like 25,000? Obviously, you're going to have to pay a little bit more, which is a fee, but you can put that into your like Xero, for example. So cost of VA 25,000, transfer fee £1.24, and that's just a bank charge line on the thing. And obviously you can see that from TransferWise if you pull in directly. So like R0 will link to TransferWise directly. So very, very simple. So I hope that's helpful for you. If you guys have got a question, drop it down below. If anything I can help you with, UK, USA, Q4, VAs, etc., I'm here to help. Let me just drink some coffee quickly, and I'll just jump on the other questions. So Anthony said, I've used your ARB service, which has been great to start getting deals. I have a VA for another business I want to start using for sourcing. What's the first manual sourcing method you'd suggest? Oh, interesting. Great. Well, first things first, thank you so much for using the ARB service. I'm really, I'm grateful that that's been that's been helpful for you. Honestly, well done. That's the whole point. It's about really trying to add value to you and do what you want, help you grow your business. You mentioned you got a VA for another business. Fantastic, cool. Obviously, they're really good. So I think, if you're going to ask me, we do a lot of videos about this. So check out the Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. I'll see you're on it now. Do check out like all the different sourcing techniques. So what do I mean by that? I think there's like a playlist like Sourcing 101. So if you're going to ask me, first things first, they should just learn manual sourcing. That's the go to the supplier, go over to Amazon. They've checked that works. They can do that. Number two, once they've figured out, once they've done that, you're then looking to get them to teach things like, because that's the basics of sourcing. You want them to know like reverse sourcing. Then you want them to do like voucher code sourcing, and then mail newsletter sourcing, and even like storefront stalking. We've got videos on all of these, so do look at them. I think it's got to be manual sourcing first, then I'd go on and teach all the other ones, and then I would get them very last to do what's known as leaf sourcing. And the reason why I say that is because we all know it when we source is the fact that the majority of the time what you're doing when you source, the majority of the time when you're sourcing is the fact that you're going to go like, should we say, for example, you start with manual sourcing, you'll find a product with like great, and let's say, for example, it's like cat food, and then you'd be like, oh wow, well, like leaf sourcing, but are there other types of cat food? And you might be like, well, there might be like chicken flavored cat food, there might be beef flavored cat food, and you're going to go do like leaf sourcing with that. But then you might notice that there's one seller on both of those listings, and you might go, oh, interesting, that seller's on both of them. Now I'm going to do storefront stalking. So storefront stalking is you're looking at all those, and storefront stalking basically involves reverse sourcing, because you now go, that seller's on the beef, that one seller's on the chicken, same seller. What else has that seller got? Oh, the seller's got that one. Now let's reverse source that product. Oh, okay, I found another deal. And again, it's a variation of all of them. So I think teach each one slowly and then do the variation off the back end. They just got to understand all of them. And even if it's like, oh, this seller's on this, I might reverse source it. Oh, it doesn't make it profitable. Oh, wow, but like they've got 3 or 4 from this supplier. Maybe there's a voucher code. So then they'll go look for a voucher code for it. So that's my kind of thoughts behind it. And I think for you is just be mindful that manual's always the first one, and then go into the other ones, and then just kind of mix it up. But long story short, if I do it with VAs, we talk about it all the time, it isn't about do this sourcing method, do this sourcing method. It's about what is working. That's the important thing. Always asking what's working, because the sourcing method that your VA uses might be very different to one my VA uses, and actually they get similar results, but they're just doing it a different way. So again, it's not about one method works, it's about what works for that VA, what's the most important thing. But I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments down below. And maybe if you've got any questions about your VA, like something you're concerned about, I can help out as well. Yeah, questions down below, guys, if you've got anything. So Henry's mentioned, well done, great success. Thank you, honestly, really, really good. And I show that not to like show off. I show that to say like, focus, dedication, a clear plan, and that's like my Amazon USA. We've just done 25,000. If anyone, I know there's a couple of people just joined. If I kind of put it in 1 second, I can't really even do it. Yeah, so if I'll show you again. I'm just not. Yeah, there you go. So like 29,556. If anyone's just joined, the idea is to say that, I'm trying to get my focus back. A good plan, dedication, constant hard work, and also as well, like, I will not lie, that business has been losing money for months, absolutely months. Why? Because the payroll costs and the amount of revenue we've been making is not covering it. But this is not about today. This is about 6 months down the line. This is about the long-term vision, not about right now. So I can afford to take that cost, that payroll hit, if that makes sense. Oh my God, I love coffee. If you like coffee, let me know down below. What do you drink? I'm really bad. I drink Nescafe. Really awful. Right, okay, so Henry's mentioned on FastTrack FBA online sourcing tool, do you have a trial or somehow I can see it? As for a newish FBA seller, it's a bit daunting. Okay, if you want a top tip, so you can't get any deals for free because we have to pay a team of VAs to physically find them all. We've got to pay for the infrastructure costs. All the deals are updated every 24 hours at least from the supplier and from Amazon. We've got a lot of stuff there. But if you want a top tip, if you go to fasttrackfba.com, you can create what's known as you can create an account for our free online course. Then what you can do is once you've created that, just sign up quickly, is you just go to the login, the main page, and you can actually go into the Leeds, USA and UK. And why do I tell you this? Because you won't be able to buy anything because you haven't got any tokens, but you can see all the deals. So when we say, like with our deal service, I'm just moving up. When we say with our deal service, what you can do is you can see all the deals before you buy them. You can do it that way. So sign up for the free course. You don't even need to complete it, just sign up for it. The moment you signed up, go down to the top right main menu and then click on UK or USA leads, whichever one you're interested in, and you can start browsing through all the leads. You can even do all the wish list and everything, but you just won't be able to unlock them, i.e. you won't be able to unlock the supplier URL and Amazon ASIN because you need tokens. So that's the point, but you can get in there and have a look. £69, I understand it's a bit daunting. The one thing you got to think about is, like, you've already had it here. So Anthony mentioned it. I've used your ARB service already. Great for getting deals. There's a lot of effort that goes into them, but also as well, they're really valuable. They're not going to be like, they're making you profit and a lot of profit. So there is a cost that's incurred in that, and also we need to restrict that from, we only limit in the UK for 10 sellers. I think in the US we do a bit more, but the idea is to say that we can't just give them away for free, because my God, everyone else is going to be accessing them and it's going to be crashing the price of those products. And we all know about penny under prices. So for us, what we understand is that it's actually about trying to protect the exclusivity or the competition of the deals that we find. We can't guarantee it, but we're really careful. But go online, you can have a look through the free course, and then you can actually go and have a look at the service, but you won't be able to unlock them. I hope that helped, Henry. Let me know in the comments down below. So Nescafe Gold, oh, good man, very, very good. And Andrea has mentioned, how many coffees do you drink in a day? I'm not as bad as I used to be. I promise I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to be able to do 5 cups of coffee before the sun came up. That was bad. Now I'm probably like 3, 4 a day tops. I probably don't really drink coffee on the weekend. I actually said I had like 3 yesterday. I went to a coffee shop. It depends. Like if you're going out to like a co-working space or working in the coffee shop, or order a couple of Americanos. But hey, it's nice. Like if you don't know, I travel the world right now. I'm in Mexico City, and while I do really love the view from my apartment, you just need to get out, and drinking coffee is one of the most important things. So that's what I do. But I think probably too many coffees. But I am trying to like eat healthy, go to the gym, work out, run, walk a lot more. It's very easy just to sit here at the computer all day. Yeah, really bad. Andrea, let me know. Andrea, let me know how many coffees you drink down below. That'd be really good. And what do you drink, if you drink it at all? Or maybe you're a herbal tea person. I do not know. Right, let's go. Henry has mentioned 100% agree, cannot give it for free. I'll have a look. Thank you. No problem. And that's in regards to the lead service. Guys, if you do have questions, do drop them down below. Obviously, I can talk about me and my business and what I'm doing, and I'll kind of share some stuff. But I kind of allocate this hour for you guys. If you've got questions, anything you want me to ask, I'm more like, I'd rather provide value back to you and answer questions you're having with your business, and give you, maybe I don't know the answer, but I can give you what I would do or how I'm doing it in my business. That will help out. And I pretty much tell you everything. So let's just kind of drink some coffee. Let me know the questions down below. So Anthony has said, thank you for the answer. I've seen a few of your sourcing videos. I guess manual sourcing is the best way to start, but I'm still wondering which specific manual sourcing method to show my VA first. All of them. Long story short, look, at the end of the day, my thought process behind it would be stop trying to control the situation. Look, you're a leader, you're a manager in your business. There's a big thing about like either tell me how you want it done or tell me what you want to achieve, but don't tell me how to do both. You need to give people freedom and flexibility. And the reason is they'll have no control if you tell them exactly what you want them to do and how you want them to achieve and what you're doing. Like it's the old Victorian way, like just do not do it. It does not work. We're independent thinkers. We can think for ourselves, but even our VAs are not stupid. My God, my ops manager, my purchasing manager for the UK, he controls a team which spends £50,000 a week on stock. Like he could definitely think for himself if I'm giving him, he's spending nearly quarter million US a month on stock. So he's got to be able to think for himself. So I think the question I would always say is tell them what you want. Our job as leaders in the business is to clearly define the goal, the result that we want. The result is I want you to find, we talk about in the VA Academy, well, I want you to find enough deals that I can spend £1,333 per week on stock. That is it. That is what we're after. Why? If you can do that at 30% ROI over a month, you're going to make £5,600. You're going to purchase £5,600, 4 lots of 1,333. £5,600 at 30% ROI is £1,600 worth of gross profit, and minus the VA cost, £400 is going to be £1,200 worth of net profit. That is what we're after. So that's why we say I want £1,333 worth of spend every week, because that a certain ROI will give us the profit we want. So tell them that. I tell them that is what I want, and hey, here are some videos. Go watch these videos, learn about the different sourcing methods, and then do everything that you need to do to find me that spend. That is it. Do not tell them like do this sourcing method. It's not your job to tell them what to do, because if you're always telling them what to do, they're always going to come back to you for questions. My God, I've got, I don't know, 24 sourcing VAs. They don't come back to me and ask me what to do, nor do they come back to their managers and ask them what to do. They are solely tasked with this is what we want you to achieve. It's your job to figure it out. That's it. I always think about with the end in mind. If I tell them what to do today, I'm always going to have to tell them what to do. But if I tell them what I want, the result, and I tell them and I give them the tools and the support and the guidance to help them out, but I make it very crystal clear, it is their job to figure out how to do it, then they'll always figure it out. So top tip for you, Anthony, is tell them the goal. Tell them the goal, give them all the resources to do it, but the resources are under guidance. Never use the do this, do that. Not at all. Say, look, hey, someone recommended this, try that. What do you think? You're trying to facilitate their thinking, but always hold them accountable to the goal. That's it. Do not, and I really stress this, do not tell them what to or what you want and how to do it. That's like a really dangerous game, and it's a really bad management practice. Although we think in our mind it's a good thing. I really say don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments down below. Henry's mentioned, guys, you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm here to help. So how do you deal with penny pinchers? I just keep trying to match them, but eventually just gave up on them. I can only imagine that they will sell out eventually, but then another penny pincher appears. They do. Long story short is two things. You can do your repricer, so like match 1p above. You might be able to look at your repricer and start identifying the names of the people who are 1p under and put them into a repricer to stop repricing against them. So it means you're just going to let them sell through, which is fine. It's going to happen. Penny pinchers exist, and it's really silly because if you have like 10 people on a listing, of which 9 of them are match the buy box and 1 of them's a penny pincher, because the one person goes down, everyone else matches, and then they down, match, the whole price goes down. So resetting stocks overnight. Number 2, don't compete versus certain sellers, let them go down. Number 3 is if you are noticing it, what you can do is check the competitor stocks. No repricer right now. It's really amazing. No repricer right now actually does any repricing off the competitor stock. I know why, it's really hard to do, but unless Keeper does like an API, that'd be really interesting. But the idea is that no one does it against the stock, they always just do it against the price. So the idea is to say that you can go in manually and look at it. And then also, long story short, is what I would say is don't ever look at your products on an individual basis. So what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, you've got 10 products and one of them's being penny underpriced. You're like, oh my God, penny on prices, another penny on pricer. Like, it's going to happen. It's just the nature of the marketplace that we work in. So always look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that out of any 10 products that you buy, 2 are going to do really well. 5 maybe might be like, okay, as expected. Another 2 or 3 might just break even, penny under prices, and 1, maybe 2 are going to lose you money. But over the whole 10 products, you're going to be cash positive. You're always going to lose money if you are on certain products. That is a fact, and I hate to say it. Or if you're not, then you're probably holding it a bit too long, like 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It's probably not worth holding. You could have done it more efficiently. But I think for you is you can restock above, you can stop doing penny under pricing, check your repricer daily, stop repricing versus that one, change the rule, for example. I think if we had automation rules where it's like it's detected you're in a price war and then we reset it to like 5p above, we just weren't going to compete, which kind of worked. And then sometimes you've got to manage your inventory age. And then also as well, some reprices allow you to, we sell a toolkit. I quite like it. And then the idea is that you can, I'll drop an affiliate link if you want to try it, but you can put in IDs of sellers and stop competing against them. That's going to be super important for you. So that's pretty much what I would do. And 1 second, toolkit. Just get that right. Yeah, that's what I would do. And that's what we do. And also as well, on the other hand, is what we understand is that you are going to get it whereby it's you're just going to penny earn prices. Unfortunately, it's the nature of what we do. If you are interested in Seller Toolkit, I'll drop a link just down below. So right there, Fast Track FBA, STK, that's it. That'll give you like a 14-day free trial and a 30% discount. It's the profit and loss software we use and the repricer we use, so both the UK and USA. Super simple. Again, I really like it. There's probably ones out there that could be better, but my God, the amount you're paying is so much more. So here we go. Sarah has come in. Thank you, Sarah, for asking the question, by the way. Sarah mentioned, I live in Austria. Fantastic. I'd love to go visit. I sell on Amazon DE, sorry. I love that. How can I start on Amazon UK? Do you have any prep center that can help since you do not live in the UK? Yeah, I think that top tips. Okay. Sarah, let me put it this way. We are looking at starting in Amazon Germany. And my thoughts behind it, my personal thoughts are, don't spread yourself too thin. I personally believe unless you are doing 6 figures a month in a marketplace, it's probably like 100,000 euros in sales a month. It's probably not worth starting in another country. Why? And by the way, if you're doing 6 figures and also as well you've got a system, i.e. a team set up doing it for you, I don't think it's worth setting up. Right now we're doing, I was doing 120,000 in the UK before I started the USA, and now we're doing $250,000 a month in the UK. Why? It's the fact that I've seen it time and time again. People just start one marketplace, another marketplace, another marketplace, and you're like, there is a massive administrative burden. There's a massive cost burden. And when you just start out, it's quite hard. What I'd say is don't be a jack of all trades, master of none. Do one marketplace super, super well and smash it. And the reason why we're starting in Amazon DE is because I'd be interested to know what your ROI is. But like in the UK right now, I reckon most people are probably tracking around 20 to 25% ROI, which I think you're probably going to get a better ROI in DE because there's less competition. So if you want to move into UK, you are more than welcome to. One of the prep centers you might look at, our prep center doesn't work with anyone else. It just works with us because the volumes are too high. But one that I can probably recommend, or you can type in the Fast Track FBA Facebook group. We do have a couple of posts about it, and there's a video as well. But one you might look at is called Fast Pack, PACK, FBA, not fast track, but fast pack. I will drop a link. I don't have an affiliate link or anything, so they are called Fast Pack FBA. I'll just drop it down there. As a warehouse, they get that fast pack FBA, and the idea is to say that they're represented in the UK, and there's really positive feedback. I'm going to go visit them when I'm in the UK. So I think the question is, if you can do it, definitely. My advice is, unless you're doing 6 figures a month, don't. Just starting on Amazon, it all has costs. You've got to pay for prep, you've got to pay for deals, you've got to do all this. It's just another thing. Whereas it's easier to, if you're going to add, like, I'm doing 10 grand a month on Amazon UK and I'm doing 15 grand a month on Amazon Germany. If you'd have maybe not bothered doing UK, cumulatively you're doing 25. Maybe if you'd not done the UK, you can now probably be on 30 on Germany, which would probably be better. Maybe even more than that, because you're just focusing on one thing rather than trying to do too many. So my advice is, my personal advice, and I promise, and I say this is like hand on heart, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I know the grass looks greener on the other side. Everyone's doing UK, but it's a double-edged sword. There's more competition, and right now, petty underprices, people are talking about that. So if you want the prep center, cool, but I'd probably say don't do it. Also, as well, you're gonna have to register VAT straight away, because I'm guessing you're not a UK national, and as a result, you're gonna have to be VAT registered, which means you're not gonna take advantage of the starting. You're gonna have like an 8% reduction in your profitability, and then also as well, because you're VAT registered, you now have to do VAT reporting. You have to do proper accounts. You need to an accountant, and you need to get all your invoices perfectly, which non-VAT registered people. I'm not saying you shouldn't, you should, but they're not really doing. So long story short, your administrative burden is going to go up massively for what? Not much more revenue. I personally, I don't think, unless you're going to be doing like 20,000 a month in the UK, it's probably not worth it. And to do 20,000 a month, you're probably going to need to invest, let's put it this way, 30 to 40,000 pound minimum into UK. If you've got 30 to 40,000 pound to invest in the UK and you think you can do it, fantastic. But I just don't. I personally would be like, no. If it's like a couple of thousand, I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it, especially because of the VAT side. I hope that makes sense, Sarah. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, speak to an accountant. I would also as well share what you're doing, that question there, in like the Fast Track FBA group, especially the UK one. Ask them what they think, and maybe put it as a poll question. Should I start or should I not? See what other people say. I think you'd hear a lot of Amazon sellers would say, don't do it. It's not going to be worthwhile, because of probably what I said. You can see the comments. Again, don't just listen to me, listen to the collective, and you've got some really good sellers in the Fast Track FBA UK Facebook group. Check that out. So guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm here to help answer your questions. We've got some good questions coming in today. So do let me know. I'm just going to drink my coffee. It's nothing special, just a Nescafe. Nescafe? Yeah, Nescafe. Just checking. So Anthony has said, great answer. I should give her autonomy and just tell her the goal. I haven't done intense manual sourcing. Do you suggest I try it myself first, or can I literally give her a playlist to watch? Give us a playlist to watch. My God, she's intelligent. She can figure stuff out. Hey, and B, honestly, here's a couple of things. Right now, she's scared, she's worried, and she's worried that she's not going to be able to deliver deals, and she's scared that your expectations up here and her reality is here in regards to results. Your job as a leader is to make her feel safe, because she's getting started. Remember, she's good, but she's going, she's worried that she won't be good enough, and that she's not. And also, oh my God, you said it, you're not good at your sourcing, so like, don't expect her to be great. So first things first, I would strongly recommend this. Tell her, this is the goal, this is what we want. Tell her also as well that here's how I would recommend getting there. Like, watch these videos, maybe like Tom, this guy from Fast Track FBA, he seems to know what he's talking about, maybe. But the idea is share those videos and say, watch them, this is going to help. And then number two is the fact that tell her, be like, look, you have to be honest with her. Say, look, I am not good at sourcing. I'm not expert at this manual sourcing. So if you have questions, feel free to ask me, but I can't guarantee I'm going to tell you the answers. We're going to have to figure it out together. But don't worry, we will get there. We promise that. But I'm not worried if you don't know the answers, or if you answer me questions that we don't know, we have to figure it out. And the reason why I say that is because she will look at you as an expert in the field. You know what you're doing, and just by telling her you don't know the answers also allows her to go, okay, I don't have to know the answers. So you're bringing the expectation down, you're making it a safe environment, and then what you're doing is you're setting the expectation as in, like, I expect you to know or come to me as the answers. The expert model, no, we're getting away from the expert model. We're moving towards the collaborative, we're learning together model. That's what you want, because that's about learning. That's the most important thing. So I really think that's something you should do. So for you is give her the playlist, tell her the goal, and then every day ask her the question, hey, how's it been? What have you learned? We're not too worried about the results. I wouldn't ask about the results yet. Get her to show the results naturally every day. But what are you learning? And the learning's the important thing. If she learns right, 6 months down the line, you're going to have an amazing VA. So always ask about the learning. And every time you see a great learning or a great behavior, recognize it very, very, I can't pronounce the word, specifically, sorry, and highlight it. Like, oh my God, today you did manual sourcing and you found 4 deals. I love that. I love that. I cannot wait. Seems like manual sourcing is a great thing. Keep up the great work. And maybe tomorrow she doesn't find the great deals. I just want to say today, I know you didn't find so many great deals, but the one thing I do love is the fact that you are learning a new sourcing technique. I never expect anyone to know the sourcing technique amazingly and be able to apply it on day one. But because you've learned a new sourcing technique, we know in the long run that's going to have a positive impact, and you will get there. So even on the bad days, you're giving her positive feedback to improve. And again, what do I come back to? Safe space, safe space. Safe space to learn. That's the important thing. Now is about learning. So do not sit there and be like, do this, do this, do this. It's not about you telling her. And I would even so much to the point where if she asks you what to do, I would be like, I'm not going to tell you. Like, I refuse. I flat out refuse to tell you what to do. I'm here to help you, ask you great questions. What are you learning? But it's not your job to tell her what to do. If you tell her what to do, you'll always have to tell her what to do. But if you tell her the goal and support her in finding her own way to get to the goal, my God, she'll do it. And that's the ultimate goal. The goal, the VA isn't so you have to manually be the puppet master every day. The goal is that they do it without you. And that's where they add real value. So I hope that makes sense. And also safe space, and positive, 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 positive. And I know it sounds horrible, but this is what you have to do. Because, and even if everyone else on the Facebook groups is like, oh my God, tell the VA what to do. They're not doing it right. Tell them to do this. Like, resist it. Like, there are so many keyboard warriors out there who think they know how to run, who they do it really well. And I'm not saying they do or they don't, but just be very careful about where you listen to your advice. And I'm always a big believer in think with the end in mind. And the end in mind is that I've got a team who don't need me, and they can just find the deals, buy the deals, manage the deals, done. And if I'm having to tell them what to do on a day-to-day basis, then I'll always be telling them what to do. But if I can teach them how to figure the answers out themselves, then they'll always figure out the answers themselves. So safe space, initiative. Do the initiative, and every time you see a great behavior or a great action or a great result, you celebrate the hell out of it. And I mean, you literally get on the top of your Facebook, you shout and scream like, my God, my VA is amazing. And you share it with your community, and you share that back to your VA about how proud you are of them. And that's just going to make them feel, because we're emotional creatures, great, and they'll keep doing it. And they'll be like, you know what, my client's the best client because he loves me, he respects me, and he would do a great job. And I'll work the weekend and I'll work the evening. I'm not saying they have to, but they'll want to because they feel valued. And we all know it, whether it's in the Philippines, UK, USA, it doesn't matter where. We don't work for companies, we work for bosses. So be the boss that you always wish you had. I hope that helps your question. And honestly, I say that from a point of experience. We've got 130 clients with VAs, and that is the advice that I give them. A lot more kind of detail we'll give them, but that is it. Do not get into the dictating, the telling. It just does not work, and we see it fails so massively. And even where it does work initially, 3-4 months down the line, those clients are the ones coming back going, why doesn't my VA do something? Why are they not? Why are they just doing the same thing over? It's like, because that's what you taught them to do. Like, it's so obvious. And the clients who are hiring 2, 3, 4, 5 VAs and their businesses are running now, they are the ones who really encourage development and create great spaces, that create great environments. Why do you think like Google has all like, you know, free coffees, and they do all like, you know, 1 day a week you can spend on your own personal development, because they want to encourage creativity, they want to encourage initiative within their teams. They don't, Google never tells the developer do this exact thing. No, not at all. Great companies just understand that that's not the way you manage people. And people in the Philippines are no different from people in the US or in the UK. They're still people, they're still smart. My God, half of them probably smarter than me. I know half my staff are way more educated than me. So definitely be a great leader. Hope that makes sense. So Henry has mentioned not using a repricer currently. Any suggestions? Yes, Henry, if you want to know Seller Toolkit, that's the link, that's my affiliate link. You get like 14 days free trial and 30% off your first month subscription. I use it. Honestly, I've tried. I'm not here to name other names. I've used other repricers. They're okay. Some of them I don't like. That one I just like. I really do. It's simple. It's a P&L software. Okay, 2 things. It does the repricing. You can do automation between rules. You can add in the sellers and move them. It's maybe not the most easy to understand initially, but once you get your head around it, you're okay. Norm, the guy who creates it, is super responsive on like questions. You can ask him in the Facebook group all the time. Number 2, it does your P&L, so you can literally see it's your repricer and your profit and loss software. I love that. And then number 2 or 3, sorry, it will do your reclaims. That's the most important thing. Like, you get like all the refund software charges like 15, 17%, 25%. This is just like, once you've paid for it, you get it as part of the package, and it does a really good job of like reconciling and managing stock which is missing, and giving you the templates to just send to Seller Central to say, hey Amazon, you've lost this item in stock, please refund. It's really good at that. And they're doing, like, the developers like working 36 hours a day to update it. Like, it's insane. I'm like, man, you need to sleep. So really good. I like it. I think it's we've just moved over both businesses to it. Simple, works, and it's super cheap. Like, honestly, the guys underpricing. You could 3 times the price, $100 a month, easy, no problem. So that is what I'd recommend. Seller Toolkit. Stephen has just mentioned, just got off my first call with my new VA, #excited. Fantastic. Honestly, really good. And hopefully you just listen to what I was saying to Anthony, like, safe space environment, that's what we do. And obviously if you're with the Fast Track VA Academy, I think you are, obviously I'll have another call today about 6:30 p.m. UK time, in probably about 5 hours time, I think it is, in the private Fast Track FBA VA Academy Facebook group. That come in, join, ask questions. I'd really recommend it. That first month is the most important thing, and I will kind of give you a bit more information. There's some videos we share with you as well on the journey. Do what I'm after. It's really helpful. So glad you're excited. Honestly, this is the first step in what is many. And I will just put it out there, is to say that don't expect this to be plain sailing. Go into this expecting you're going to have problems. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be days where maybe you're struggling for deals. This is about where you'll be in 6 months' time. It is not about today or one day. My God, my best VA is doing, I think, don't quote me, like £13,000 worth of deals we spend on a week, roughly, on her deals. But when she first started, my God, like, we had some up and downs, but we stuck with her. And now she's really valuable. And now she values the company, but also as well, we see the results in that. So stick with your team. They're here for, a VA is for life, not just for Christmas. I think that's a big one. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I've got another about 13 minutes, and then I will have to drop off. So I will power through them if I start running out of time. So Harminder said, are you doing anything different this Q4 against previous Q4s? Getting more cash. We've got a lot more cash right now. I've got 6 figures of cash sat in the bank account waiting for Q4. Let's put it that way, that we're not able to spend. It's cash. Cash is king. I promise you that. Like, you're going to run out of money. I promise you that. It's going to be a very interesting Q4. Stock shortages, container problems. It's just going to be interesting. I think it could be very lucrative, if that makes sense. But again, you're going to cash as king. If you've got VAs or you haven't got VAs, get them now. My God, you want to be getting them like 2 months ago. They're going to take time. Your speed, mobility. The only other thing which I'd probably say is put in like build an incentive. But I don't think we did an incentive plan for last Q4. So if you have got VAs, we're building an incentive plan. I talked about it, £1 million for the UK over the Q4 period. Q4 doesn't really start until about middle of November, but you want to start shipping in your big bulks by the 1st of November. But long story short is, I think the biggest one, if you've got a team, is have a plan and have a goal, a profit goal. And then if you achieve it, give something back to your team to say, hey, well done for maybe working above and beyond. That's probably the only thing I'm doing. But yeah, there's a general thing, cash, get a prep center if you haven't got it already. Cash, credit cards, that's the most important, prep center. What else? And VA if you've got it. And then when you get into it, everything's got to be purchased between about the 1st of, start shipping in around the 1st of November, probably stop shipping around about middle of December, 12th, 15th is normally the dates. But it doesn't mean Amazon stops, keep going through. After about the 12th, you want to be only shipping in stuff which will still sell in January. But use Keeper, analyze Keeper. Like, that is the most important thing. I'll be hammering on about it like non-stop. So I do think that's going to be super important for you. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything in particular you're looking for, else you can share. Andreas mentioned that's actually a good idea to encourage growth as a VA. Thank you for that. Not a problem. And that's what I really recommend. Like, my mindset on my business, and I said it earlier, I've got 56 VAs across 3 companies. We're going to build a 4th company next year. It is not my job to tell them what to do. It is not, and it never is. It cannot be, because even at 1, 2, 5 VAs, like, I cannot tell them what to do all the time. It's just not feasible. My job is to clearly define the goal, what we're trying to achieve, and then my job is, once I've defined that, is to go, guys, I am here to help you do whatever you need to do to get us there. So do you need training? Do you need support? And what development do they need to get them to the goal? And then my other job is to quite simply motivate, listen to their problems, and recognize and reward them for taking steps and behaviors in the right direction towards that goal. That is it. But again, it is not my job to tell them what to do. If I tell them what to do, I'm always telling them. But if I can encourage them to grow, to learn, to be user initiative, my God, I'll have a team which don't even need me. And that's the ultimate goal. You're not needed, because at the end of the day, we are the biggest problem in our business. It's our problem, which is the thing. So initiative, developing the team, but just clearly defining the goal towards that goal, and all their work goes towards that. That's the most important thing. So thank you. I hope that's been helpful, and hey, keep doing it yourself. David Walker has come back and said, do you offer bookkeeping VAs hire? We don't. We're training our admin VAs who will do an element of bookkeeping. That's still in development. We're probably looking about a month and a half out. If it's this year it goes live, I'll be pleased. But it might be the case that we're pretty much ready and we test it with a couple of clients and then launch next year. So that is something we're going to do. And if I just clarify, there'll be admin VAs and they'll do exactly the same processes that I do with my teams. So weekly dashboards, cash flow calculators, updating the bookkeeping on the accounts, managing, preparing the VAT returns for me to check. It's not saying that you don't have to do it all, but they should be able to do it, help you out with all the administrative processes. That's going to help. But we will do that, but that'll be, it's still in process at the moment. And again, hopefully you can understand it's about quality first, rather than just get the product launched. It's gotta be right. So that's what we're doing. Guys, got a couple of minutes left, about 8 minutes. If you've got any final questions, drop them down below. Maybe there's something that you liked today, drop it in the questions down below. Do let me know. Steve Parsons mentioned, I'm on it, I'll see you there. That is in regards to his new VA. Very excited. Hey, thank you for joining us. And hey, honestly, I look forward to helping you build your business over the next couple of years or months. And I think you'll be really impressed. Remember, this is a long-term game, not short-term. So I look forward to seeing you there. Now, Harminder said, how long do you think it would take for your USA Amazon business to be on par with your UK business? It's a hard one. I'm going to put it in context of like maybe 2 years. And I only say that because the UK business right now is doing the current run rate 3 million a year. just that's it's £212,000 a month. That's roughly 2 million a year. And what does that mean? It means we have access to a lot more capital. We have cash. Right now in the US, I don't have any credit facilities. I need to get that, and that's going to take at least another 6 to 12 months to get hold of, and then only then can we start to build the credit facilities. And that's just a slowing. Whereas the UK, my God, we're getting loans of 100,000. Like, you can't really compete. So yeah, like 2 years maybe, if I'm happy. It's not to say that I do think the US will beat it. Over a 10-year horizon, the US will smash it. It's a bigger marketplace, but I do think just because of the head start the UK business had, it's going to be a lot harder. So that's going to be a challenge. But my God, there's lots of opportunity. Andy, thanks so much, man. I'll take your advice. Fantastic. Guys, a couple of more minutes. You've got questions. Do you have any specific sourcing playlists that you can advise me to send her? Go to fasttrackfba.com. Oh my God, do it right, Tom. Fast Track FBA YouTube. You can go to like our playlists. I think it's along the top, and look for Sourcing 101. We update that with all our sourcing things. Just get them to watch that. Honestly, it's like all the sourcing things. Just say, hey, look, one day I want you to spend the entire day, don't find any deals, watch all of this guy's videos, that and the Keeper videos. I think you're going to be in a really good position. It's going to really help you out. So that'll be really useful for you and to share with her. And I think that would just get her started. And she should, and then from there is, and have constant conversations about what have you learned. Tell me about the videos. What videos did you watch? What have you learned? What are you putting into practice? What's working? What's not? Absolutely fine. Maybe get her to even join these live calls. Like, she can ask questions. I do. I can do it, not a problem. So that is what I'd recommend. But again, one step at a time. Guys, you've got about 5 minutes. If you've got any final questions, drop them down below. Honestly, I will do that. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and talk to myself and drink coffee. But hey, thank you so much for everyone joining. Like, really nice. Like, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate just listening to me. Do let me know. So thank you. A couple of kind of final questions coming in. Let's power through them. Thomas, can you recommend an insurance company for people working outside the UK? The ones Amazon offers? I don't know, actually. I don't know. I think you need to ask the question in a couple of groups. I would just go spam a lot of USA groups. There's going to be a lot of people. I do have an LLC in the UK, so that's the only thing which I'm aware of. Like, it wouldn't be a problem for me, but it is one of the things. So I don't know the answer. I'm really sorry. I know like there's some lady who does it, but I don't think she does external. You could ask. Go look for Amazon insurance for UK sellers. That's what I'd do. I'd probably not look for US. I'd look for UK sellers, and they'll probably insure you for a second marketplace outside. Check that. That might be your option. But I'd spam it in a lot of groups, and see what people say. But I'm sorry, I don't know. Iris has said, really love to be an Amazon VA. Already enrolled the course. Online covers products. Fantastic. Apply, go through the process. We've got a testing process. The team are really good. I will give you one stat, which is going to scare you a little bit, but out of 200 applications, we only actually hire one. That's it. It's a 1 to 200 ratio. It's not to say that you might not be the one, but it just means that we have quite a high standard that we look for. That's the stat that I know of, and that's what we really want to do. So I just apply, go through the process, and my team are really good. We've got go through a really good team, and the reason is the training's so good. Hopefully you can see we really want to get the best VAs for it and train them up. Do you have any tips or advice what I should focus on and learn to prepare to handle the real deal? Look at my how to interview a VA. There's 2 of them on my Facebook channel. That's really going to help you out. Check them. You'll see what my things are. It's about getting through. If you get through the interviews and the testing, do the free course, watch the 2 videos. It's like how to interview a VA part 1, part 2. Check that. I think you'll be fine. And then it's just go through the interview process. Once you're through and they do contracts, just work your ass off. And it might be horrible, but I hate to say it. Putting in extra time now is going to be really worth it, because the training's really good, and obviously you're going to have a client and a job for life. Honestly, really, really good. So I hope that helps, and good luck, Iris. Good luck. Right, Anthony said, how often after your live calls? Oh, how often are your live calls? This live call every week, same time, pretty much 7 a.m. Mexico time, EST time. UK, what's the time? It'll be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK, and in the Philippines about 9 p.m. So I try and do that. And if you are part of the VA Academy, I do another call later on, which is the same day, and I do them I do them on Monday as well. They're at 6 p.m. UK time, I think lunchtime EST time. And then we're really here to help. But you've got to be part of the VA Academy. What does that mean? It means you've paid for a VA through Fast Track FBA, and you get access to me specifically around coaching. You get all our incentive schemes. You get everything we talk about. We do a lot of documentation, and you get not one-to-one, it's like group, but I really diagnose, and my team are there to support you as well. So we kind of do that as well. But these calls are once a week. This is something that I do. Let's kind of jump through final, like 1 minute, 30 seconds. Answer your questions very, very quick, or I will jump off. Okay, Tom, so love what we help. Genuinely appreciate you. I'm off to play real life Tetris and try and fit everything in. I bought into their boxes. Good man, fantastic. If you want another good Tetris game, look at my video on time boxing. Elon Musk does it. It's about managing your time very well, and it's using your calendar to play Tetris to put all your stuff in. I do it. It's super amazing. It does work. It's so valuable, and it allows you to get what you want done, and you prioritize where your time is. Hence why I'm saying, like, I've got 1 hour, I do 1 hour, that is it. It stops after 1 hour. Yeah, but hey, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining. Guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for everyone joining. Thank you so much for asking questions. It's been a real pleasure. If there's anything else I can do, come join me next week. But hey, you guys keep smashing your business. It's been a real pleasure. Stay safe, and I look forward to watching those graphs being posted on Facebook groups over the coming weeks and months. But hey, take care. Bye-bye.